students. Today we will discuss about your fourth chapter, that is energy. Okay, so what is energy? So unit 1 is energy and work. So what is energy actually? So we know that, okay, when we play and get tired, then we say that we are left with some very little energy, right? And when we do homework, then we also say that we are left with a very little energy, is not it? So to do more work, we need to spend more energy, right? So energy is related with the term work, right? We know that all living beings perform some basic activities, is not it? For performing these activities, they need energy, is not it? So where from we can collect this energy? The energy comes from the food which we consume, right? So we know that some activities like playing, cycling need more energy than the other activities like singing, writing, is not it? And we know that some activities require far more energy than our body can produce, is not it? In this case we need machines, is not it? Okay, you know that if a body is taken from the ground to a certain height, then the work is done on the body against the force of gravity, right? And body at this height possesses energy in the form of which energy? Potential energy, is not it? And in the same way, when a body is made to move from its rest position, work is done on the body, is not it? And the body is in motion, right? So we can say that it possesses the energy which is in the form of kinetic energy. Okay, so we will later we will discuss about the kinetic energy and potential energy. Okay, so we can conclude that the energy possessed by a body at rest due to its position or size and shape is called actually potential energy, and the energy possessed by a body due to its state of motion is called actually kinetic energy. Okay, now what is actually energy? So we can say that ability to do work is actually energy. Okay, ultimately when you are reading or studying, okay, so when you are writing, so you are ultimately doing a mental work, is not it? And when you are playing a football, then ultimately you are doing a physical work, right? But we recognize only that work which causes some kind of motion or displacement. Okay, so suppose you are pushing a wall, okay, and it does not move, is not it? So no work is done, okay, because we know that we only recognize only that work which causes some kind of motion or displacement, right? So we can define work as when a force causes displacement in its own direction, work is said to be done. We can say that work not only depends upon the energy which you have spent, but it also depends upon the displacement of the body, is not it? So if you push a wall and it does not move, then no work is done, right? But if you apply force on a heavy box and it moves, then you can say that work is done, right? So in some cases the force applied does not produce displacement of a body, instead the body gets deformed. Okay, so suppose when an inflated rubber balloon is squeezed, it gets deformed in the direction of applied force, right? So thus we can say that the work is done. Okay, now factors determining work. So now if we consider this figure 4.2a, so if this is actually, this box is an empty box. Okay, so if we push the body from the position A to position B, then we need to apply some force, right, to move the box through the distance x. So this distance from the position A to position B, that this distance is x. Okay, so we need to apply some force, so some work is done, right? Now if we consider this figure 4.2b, and this box is now filled with stone, okay, and now if we want to move it from the position A to position B through a distance x, that means the distance between A and B is x, then we need to apply more force as compared to the figure 4.2a, right? So we can say that work done by a body depends upon the force applied. That means the more the work done, the more is the force applied, right? Now if we consider this figure 4.3, so here this is the box filled with stone. Okay, so if we want to displace this box from position A to position B, that means 2 meter, we need to apply some force, right? So we can say that in this case some work is done, is not it? So and if we want to displace this box from position A to position C, that means 4 meter, then if we apply same amount of force, then the work done will be doubled. Okay, so we can conclude that more the displacement of a body, more is the work done. Okay, so mathematically we can say that the work done is the product of force and displacement through which the force acts. Okay, so mathematically we can say that work is defined as the product of force and displacement through which force acts. Okay, now if F is the applied force and S is the displacement in the direction of applied force and W is the work done, then we can say that mathematically W equals to F into S. Okay, now if we apply some force on a body but the displacement is 0, then ultimately the overall work will be 0, because we know that here W equals to F into S. So if S equals to 0, then W will be 0, is not it? Furthermore, if the displacement caused by a force is at right angle to the direction of applied force, then the work is again 0. Okay, we can explain it by using the formula W equals to Fs cos theta, but it is not included in your syllabus, so you can skip it. Okay, but you need to know that if the displacement caused by a body if the displacement caused by a force is at right angles to the direction of applied force, then the work done is 0. Okay, so if we consider an example, you are carrying your heavy school bag on your shoulders and standing still, then we can say that the weight of the school bag is acting vertically downward, is not it? So to counter this weight, our shoulders also apply an equal force in the vertically upward direction, right? Due to this force, no displacement is caused, so we can say that you are not doing any work, right? So we can take another example. When a coolie works on a horizontal ground while carrying a load on his head, then no work is done against the force of gravity. Why? Because the displacement of the load is at right angle to the direction of force of gravity, is not it? Which is vertically downwards, right? So that no work is done. Okay, so now units of work. So the SI unit of work is actually joule. So we know that the work is the product of force and displacement, right? So the unit of work is also the product of unit of force and unit of displacement. So we know that the SI unit of force is Newton and the SI unit of displacement is meter. So Newton into meter will be the unit of work, so which is actually joule. Okay, so we can say that the SI unit of work is joule. So what is the definition of 1 joule? So we can say that if the force is 1 Newton and the displacement is 1 meter, then 1 Newton into 1 meter, it is equals to 1 joule. Okay, so we can define the 1 joule as a force, when a force of 1 Newton causes a displacement of 1 meter in its own direction, then the work done is said to be 1 joule. So that means 1 joule means 1 Newton into 1 meter. Clear? Okay. Now we will discuss about this numerical problem. Calculate the amount of work done when a force of 25 Newton displaces a body through 10 meter in its own direction. So we know that work is the product of force and displacement. Here force is 25 Newton and the displacement is 10 meter. So work will be force into displacement. So 25 into 10 Newton into meter, that means joule. So 250 joule. Okay. So okay.